Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and on this Tuesday afternoon, we are tracking storms across Florida and also winter weather across the East Coast. Now, that winter weather is going to be the big story today. More snowfall, whiteout conditions, school cancellations across the East Coast today, while we have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for many. The heaviest snow that's coming today will impact the East Coast. However, we do have a few chances for snow, a few more inches coming to Colorado, and we'll talk about exactly when and where you can see that. That Florida tornado risk, it's going down this afternoon as those storms continue to push off to the east, but we could watch for some strong storms between now and about 2 to 3 o'clock today. We'll talk about that as well. And another cold plunge. Yes, if you thought that maybe today was a little bit warmer than yesterday, especially across the plains, temperatures have warmed up just a little bit here. Well, it's going to go back to that cold weather tomorrow as we have another cold front coming through. In terms of your 24-hour storm reports, we don't have a ton to talk about in terms of severe weather. However, snow, we saw some really impressive snowfall totals across places like Kansas City, St. Louis, all the way into northern Illinois, Ohio yesterday, Indiana, of course, and now all of those storms are across the East Coast. We also have those showers and storms just down to the south into the Florida Panhandle. That will be what we're watching for strong storms today. And then you look farther off to the west as one system moves out, that next system moves in. So there's your system today. You've got that low pressure system, cold front all the way down the East Coast here, also contributing to some really windy conditions in places like North and South Carolina, into the Virginias, and all the way up to our New England states. Not only are they feeling the impacts of that winter weather, but they're also feeling the impacts of the cold and windy conditions as well. You look farther off to the west and you do see that we've got some showers of snow moving into the Rocky Mountains right here. Some really impressive snowfall totals expected to come to some of our upper elevations. And then in South Dakota, we could see some icy conditions as well. So we have many people impacted by that winter weather today. Let's go ahead and take it region by region here. Snow showers off the East Coast. A little bit of ice also going into the Virginias. That's something that you need to be aware of. There's those strong showers and storms today. Now, as this continues, this line here, as it continues to track to the east, we're going to see that severe risk go down. So I'm not too terribly concerned with the severe risk today, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about exactly what we're expecting. There's your snow across South Dakota, mixing into maybe some freezing rain or cold rain in some places as well. And then you've got snow into the Rockies. Temperatures today a little bit warmer than yesterday, 45 in Oklahoma City, 43 in Denver, Colorado, 31 in KC, so some places still have snow on the ground where temperatures have not warmed above freezing yet. Snow on the ground, snow on the roofs, especially if you have not gotten that sunshine quite yet. You can see that those temperatures are still below freezing, well below freezing for a lot of us, anywhere from Minnesota all the way to Wisconsin, into Illinois, Indiana, and even Ohio, still sitting below freezing today. Where did we get snow over the past 24 hours? And again, it's below freezing, so we have a really high likelihood that there's still snow on the ground, still snow on some of those rooftops, across all of these states highlighted here in blue. St. Louis saw several inches of snow this time yesterday. Chicago, not as much. That was a lot more promising with better snowfall totals into places like Cincinnati, all the way through most of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. We got some really impressive snowfall totals up to 6 to maybe 8 inches in places like central and southern New York. Now, we still have ongoing snow in these areas, so we do expect some of those snowfall totals to continue to rise. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at additional snowfall accumulation as we head into the afternoon hours today. Yeah, we've got those snow showers lingering just off the East Coast here. Boston, it looks like you're going to get some heavy snow in these areas. Again, we are watching for whiteout conditions in some areas, which will make travel very dangerous. You factor in that high wind as well, and you could have blowing snow across the roadway. At that point, it doesn't matter how much snow you get. If it's blowing across the roadway in front of you, you can't see in front of you, it lowers your visibility. Travel conditions become very dangerous. We head off to the west, and you can see all across the Rockies here, we also have another chance for some pretty decent snowfall totals. 6 to 8 inches in some places across the Rockies. That's going to be great for skiing. You want some fresh powder to maybe go snowboarding. Yeah, you're in luck. You go all the way down to Durango, Colorado, and you have some really good snowfall totals in your forecast. This is not just the first or the only round of snow today, but we could also see that snow continue for tomorrow as well. Well, I feel like I said the S word a lot today, snow. Yes, that 4-letter word that we see very, very often this time of year. After today, will we see that in our forecast again this week in the near future? Yes, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But first, I want to go through the watches and warnings here. We do have a winter storm warning highlighted there in pink. As I mentioned, these are areas that are going to get some of the greatest snowfall totals today. Winter weather advisory, where we see some ice down in the Virginias, and then again all the way up our New England states. Again, we are also seeing that snow across the Rockies, so we are in a winter weather advisory for places like Denver, Pueblo, and all the way down into northern New Mexico. Let's talk about hail, that other 4-letter word, but then we'll go back to snow here in just a few minutes. Your hail chances today are very low. Yes, we see those low risk, that low risk for hail across the Florida peninsula here. Anything highlighted in white indicates the potential for small hail, Jacksonville all the way to Tampa. But I would say the risk for any hail at all is extremely low. Strong storms, sure, they're possible, but I'm just not betting on that today. What I would bet on is a lot of snow and maybe a little bit of rain across this area as well. This is not your only chance for severe storms this week. You'll see another chance for storms later on this week, and that could come with a flood risk as well. In the same area that we're getting storms today, we could see another flood risk later on this week, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But there you go. There's your chance for storms today. We've got a line moving through Jacksonville right now that will continue to push off to the east and southeast across I-95 as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. It's scattered storms. It may not just be a one and done thing. It may be kind of on and off rain throughout the afternoon and evening. However, I'm not, again, too concerned about that severe risk. You know, what I would really watch for today is the snow. We'll go back to it. Not only are we watching for another round of snow across the Midwest, across the Rockies, Colorado, Wyoming, we are also watching for another round across the Midwest. Now, mainly the northern Midwest here, so we're talking about northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. You can see all of those showers moving through tomorrow from a pretty fast moving system here. It's not going to linger too long. However, it will have its impact. Ooh, there you go. There's some rain. Look at this. Thursday morning, you've got a good soaking across places like eastern Texas, Houston. Getting a lot of rain moving in here. Louisiana, early Thursday morning, you may wake up to those showers and storms outside of your door. Now, we don't have a risk quite yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get a marginal risk for storms down in Louisiana and into eastern Texas on Thursday. Here's a look at your severe risks right now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We don't have anything quite yet, as I mentioned earlier. Stormy down to the south, snowy up to the north, and I think really that cold and dry air is going to be our big story over the next few days. So no significant hail expected today. And even though earlier this morning we had a tornado risk, we do not anymore. We have a very low tornado risk right now. So I would say about a 3 to 5% chance for an isolated tornado today. Very, very low, and that storm chance will decrease as we head into the afternoon hours. So again, we have a low risk for tornadoes today and even lower later on today. So if we take a wide view of what's going on right now, as we mentioned, stormy down to the south, snowy up to the north. As this system moves on out with all of the snow and the wind and the cold weather that it brings, we have the next system moving on in. That will bring snow over the next 24 hours to 2 different areas. That would, the first area, be across the Rockies, and the second area across the Midwest. Now, I know that some people are trying to get snow into places like Kansas, southern Nebraska, maybe Kansas City, also getting some snow here. However, I don't expect snowfall accumulations to be as impactful as it was yesterday. But again, another round of winter weather here. You know what also comes with this winter weather? An extreme blast of cold weather as well. So as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, temperatures are going to be very, very cold. Some of the coldest that we have felt all year long. So if you thought yesterday and today are cold, we could see even colder conditions move in by early Thursday morning. After that, we have another round of winter weather. I know, it's just like we say that winter weather, the snow word, over and over and over. As we head into this weekend, you can see all of the, I'll call it wet weather for now. There's no guarantee that we're going to get snow in these areas, but there's a really good chance to once again get another round of snow as we head from Saturday and into Sunday all across the northern plains and then once again into the Midwest. My concern with this here is that all of that snow that we got yesterday may not be completely melted off before we have that next round, of snow over the next few days. So it does look like a wintry work week ahead and then all the way into the weekend. We could see another chance for snow. So let's just kind of break this down for you because I've said we have multiple chances for snowstorms here. Here's your risk for today, tomorrow up in the Midwest and into Colorado. As we head into the later portion of this week and early this weekend, we have another chance all the way through the northern plains and later in the weekend across the Midwest once again. So there's your risk for winter weather, 3 different times to see snow across the U.S. Your flood outlook as well, as we get that next system, we could get a lot of rain across places like Louisiana and Texas. Now that will be on Thursday. That's where we have that first marginal level 1 risk for flash flooding. That's an isolated flash flood risk, which basically means, you know, that spot in your neighborhood that always tends to flood. That's what we're watching for here. That shifts to the east as we head into Friday. Southern portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle, all included in that marginal risk for flooding on Friday. In addition to the stormy weather down to the south and the winter weather up to the north, we have cold temperatures coming in. Remember whenever I said Wednesday night into Thursday morning, watch those temperatures drop? Here we go. Wednesday afternoon, what are we talking about here? 49 in Oklahoma City, 35 in Kansas City, we'll take it. Single digits in the Dakotas and single digits in Minneapolis as well. It's going to be a very cold Wednesday afternoon, but even colder by Thursday morning as those temperatures plummet once again to, is that 12 below zero in Minneapolis? Holy moly, this dry Canadian air moving down into the U.S., really targeting the Midwest here. Temperatures are some of the coldest that we've felt all season. Yes, that is not the wind chill, this is your temperature. 2 degrees in Chicago. Factor in that cold north wind with that, and you feel like temperatures below zero in Chicago by early Thursday morning and even into the afternoon and evening hours. So cold once again by Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday afternoon, we warm up along some of our southern states, but still staying cold and below freezing for some of those northern states. This is why I said earlier that we could have a round of snow, a day later another round of snow, but that first round hasn't melted yet because these temperatures are staying below freezing for a good portion of the U.S. We spend a long time below freezing. You can see all the way through Sunday morning, we have Minneapolis once again back below zero, at 3 degrees below zero there. What can we get up to? Can we get up to 3 degrees above zero by Sunday afternoon? All of this to say we have a cold blast of air moving in later this week and into the weekend. So it feels like December. Yeah, you say, okay, sure, it's cold, but it's December. This is what we expect, right? How cold is it? Well, this is your temperatures below average. So if your normal, let's just say your normal is 60 degrees, then you're 10 to 15 degrees below average. So your high is 45. So you're well below average in places like Chicago all the way down to Houston today. This is your next blast of cold air that moves into the northern plains by Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday morning especially, we have those really, really cold temperatures across a good portion of the U.S. 10 to 15 to 20 degrees below average for a good portion of the U.S. here, anywhere from the Midwest all the way down to the southern plains. That'll move off to the east by Friday, but again, remember, it stays cold in the Midwest through this weekend. What about long term here? Getting into almost the middle of December, it does look like we're going to warm up. So the 7th through the 11th, we're in the second week of December at this point. Staying cold across the Midwest and New England states, but we do see a little bit of a warm up farther out to the west. Denver, Billings, San Francisco, Las Vegas, it looks like temperatures will be slightly above average for you guys. And what about that wet weather? Well, you know, this time of year, it's not necessarily rain. It could be rain or snow. It looks like we have a good chance to see our precipitation, the wet weather, a little bit above average all the way up to the north, which means we'll probably get some more snow than what we're used to. All the way out to the east as well, we're seeing that. And then drier across places like Oklahoma and all the way through the Four Corners into California. So your chance for snow, it's possible. However, it's a little bit lower in these areas. And there's your forecast. Any weather questions before we hop off of here today? I know that yesterday we talked about the winter weather across Kansas City and St. Louis. Of course, we'll be watching for those winter weather conditions once again this afternoon, especially across places like New York, Boston, Maryland. All of those areas in our New England states could once again see a really, really good blanket of snow. Whiteout conditions also possible in those areas with that heavy, that high wind that's coming off the coast, so that's also something to keep an eye on. Cold and wintry across the East Coast today. We're going to see colder conditions also through the middle of the work week, so we'll be tracking that for you here at HailTrace. We are always posting weather updates on all of our social media, so follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and give us a call at 855-334-4245 to get set up with a hail, wind, or tornado map. During these wintertime months, it's perfect to go back out and inspect areas that you may have missed earlier in the season. You got a storm back in June, but you need to see exactly where that storm hit. We have those maps for you. Give us a call at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com. You can also head over to our website, HailTrace.com, for more weather information. All right, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we'll see you back here same time, same place for your forecast tomorrow.